Amazon, the newest trillion-dollar company.
Wow.
Millions of shoppers searching for stuff like yours every second. Sellers that appear on page one get very rich very quickly. The secret? You can appear on page one pretty much instantly by using Amazon PPC, pay-per-click. Pitching your products to millions overnight, it's kind of like nationwide shelf space at Walmart. Even better, as if this was not good enough. Great thing number one, you only pay when a shopper clicks your product, not just views it. Plus, great thing number two is that you only appear when shoppers search words that you choose. So, for example, say you sell these desktop Japanese Zen gardens for depressed cubicle workers. Now, how many would you sell if you appeared on page one every time someone types Japanese Zen garden? Lots. That's lots of Zen gardens. You'd be raking it in. That's the magic of Amazon advertising. $2 billion in revenue in 3 months, and now Amazon's #1 fastest growing service ever, and now the third largest ad platform in America after Google and Facebook. Do it right and you can make millions, literally millions, like this person did, and do it wrong and you bleed cash. So with this high stakes, we take it very seriously here at AsteroidX, and we are going to show you the right way right now so that you can put the kids through schools, actually. Help mom if she gets sick, knock on wood. Make enough money not to have to worry about money. From little listing to brawny bestseller, and by reading this right now, by watching this, that's the transformation you're starting. So give yourself the gift of this time. It's essentially a $5,000 Amazon ads course for free, courtesy of AsteroidX. Bookmark it, finish it, and emerge the other side a champion. You're about to get years of Amazon ad experience in just a few minutes. Or, more of a delegator, you want to skip the learning curve? AsteroidX delivers an 100% done-for-you Amazon PPC management service. We have the right formula to make money, cut costs, and free your time so you can focus on adding new products, which is most of the time the primary input that sellers should be focusing on to really scale their sales. If you want ads done right, asteroidx.me is the website there. Or come right this way, behind the curtain, and see how it's done. This is how Amazon ads work. Basics now, details to follow. Ads make you money in 3 steps. You list, you appear, and you get the sale. Let's start with this listing portion here. So, for example, you sell a vinyl record cleaning kit. It's in stock, it's a good product, it's a good listing, but sales have been kind of slow since launch. Don't worry, it's normal. So we move on to the appear section. You tell Amazon you want to show up for highly visible sponsored product spots if a shopper types in vinyl record cleaning kit or other sort of hyper-targeted keywords of choice. Amazon puts you up there. Whenever a shopper types it in, your ad appears right at the top. You pay per click, hence PPC, when your listing appears and is clicked. You only pay when a shopper clicks your listing to see more. It's a real chance to sell. So the cost per click, the CPC, not to be confused with PPC or PCP or
Crystal meth.
for one click, ranges from pennies to a few dollars depending on how many other sellers also want to appear for the keyword. So who appears first is determined by a lot of stuff. Bid price, relevance, sales history, sugar, spice, and everything nice, i.e. the Amazon algorithm. We go to get the sale. Right, we've listed, we appear, and we get the sale. The shopper searches the keyword you chose, you appear up top, they click your ad, and they go to your listing to buy it. And just like that, a $1 click has transformed into a $20 sale. And in Amazon terms, this makes the advertising cost of sale, $1 spent and $20 back, expressed as a percentage. That's 5% ACOS. ACOS simply means spend divided by the sales. It's like a snapshot metric of overall ad profitability. If this sounds too good to be true, it's because it is. Amazon PPC is simple, but not easy. If it were easy, every seller would be on a beach somewhere, but they're not. They're working 9 to 5 in Nebraska. Sorry, Nebraska. It's not me, it's the list. Blame the list. PPC is comprised of just countless details separating success from failure. And our experts at AsteroidX have distilled everything into 6 simple steps. Follow them and learn how to transform $1 into 3 forever. This can change your life. It's a journey of $1 million begins with a single step. In our case, it is step 1. Let's begin. Step 1 of 6, listing optimization. You buy a sponsored products ad placement, and here's what your ad looks like on desktop. And on mobile, it looks like this. On Amazon, unlike Google or Facebook, your ad actually is your listing. They're one and the same, the exact same thing. So if you have a better listing, you get more ad revenue as a result. So listing optimization is step 1 of Amazon PPC, as they say in Kentucky. Buying traffic for a bad listing is like pouring water into a leaky bucket. They don't actually say that, but it sounds right. Already optimized? If you're 100% sure you're already optimized, you can skip to step 2 of 6 here. If not, or if you want 100% assurance, optimize these 10 things to get ad ready. It's a pretty quick list, but so consider. The first thing to do is get the ad clicked. The second is get the sale. The second is get the sale. So number 1, click. Number 2, sale. Welcome to this episode of Who Wants to Be a Main Photo. Number 1 is your main photo. So clear, so colorful, so alluring that you must click it. If it's good, if it's centered, well lit, defined edges, reflects exactly what the customer gets. That's good. This is bad. This is off-center, ambiguous, sort of infinity edges. Not the good kind of infinity edge. Unclear what's included. Is that thing there? Is that cigar there? Is it not? We're not really sure. On a technical level, you want the photo to have a pure white background. No unnecessary props or badges. A 2,000 pixel by 2,000 pixel square image, so it can be zoomed once it's clicked. Crop tight, so that 85% or more of the image is filled with product. Save it as a JPEG. This is a bad example. Again, it's a small image. It's a gray background. The product is small in comparison to the overall frame. And the seller is running ads for it. Imagine how many more clicks and sales they could get as a result of just a slightly better image. Their ad dollars would be put to better use. Oh, and along the same line, you should hire a professional photographer. It pays for itself via additional clicks and conversions. For example, even if you make just one additional transaction, which yields $20 in profit per week, that's about $1,000 after 12 months. So, I don't know, you tell me. Oh, it's video? Wow. Get multiple main photos at various angles when you have the photography done, so you can split test which has the highest click-through rate there. That's just clicks divided by impressions. Number 2, in listing optimization, the title. When someone sees your title, they should think that's exactly what I'm looking for. And I'm going to click and I'm going to buy. To make sure that this happens, though, start your title with the main keyword. This is defined as the keyword with the highest traffic on the one hand, and the highest relevance to your particular product on the other hand. This is what the average person on the street, you pull your product out of a box, you show it to someone at Times Square, and they say, oh, that's a XYZ, that's a silicone baking mat. You can discover this via Google Keyword Planner tool and Merchant Words and other such online tools that estimate search traffic across various terms. So, put your main keyword early in the title because space is tight. Need I remind you that space is tight? It's 150 bytes on desktop and 75 on mobile, where they get super cut off. So here is our suggested title format. It's brand name, plus this main keyword that we've been talking about, plus then you can go out and hit secondary keywords, which also apply to your product very specifically and also have very high search volume. It's just that they're not as strong in those departments, hence they're secondary. So you want to hit the main keyword quite early on. Here's a good example of this formula in practice. And number 3 in listing optimization is price. It doesn't mean price low. The trick here is to price so that you're the best value for money. Price is what you pay, and value is what you get. So customers often do, however, follow the unspoken rule that expensive equals good. So you're going to want to, in a general sense, price equal to or more than similar offers. The rule of thumb here, in general, from what we've seen through running thousands of campaigns, is that $25 plus So $25 or more allows enough margin for ad spend, and we are going to dig right into this in step 2 of 6, looking at all your numbers to make sure that that you're really making money off of this. So also don't price under $10, or you might be sent to the add-on item Shadow Realm. Very nice, where shoppers need to spend a total of $25 to even buy your thing at all in the first place. Common mistake. Please avoid. Can be avoided easily. Raise price plus $10. $10 or more. Number 4, quite quickly, is to fulfill by Amazon, FBA. So instead of shipping the units to customers yourself or from your warehouse when they buy, we do recommend sending that to an Amazon warehouse there, such that you can qualify for Prime 2-day shipping, and this alleviates all sort of customer concerns about shipping fees and wait times, and clicks and sales go up, and anecdotally, of course, so does your ranking. Because Amazon would do that. Of course they would. Number 5, keyword density. More keywords means more shoppers are able to find you. If your listing was a tourist attraction, by way of metaphor, every new keyword is a new road into town. If your listing has the keyword collagen in it, for example, shoppers searching for collagen can find you and buy from you. The road is open. If you don't have collagen in your listing text, even if the product physically does, Amazon won't be able to tell. You'll never show up for those 571,600 monthly customer searches, and the road is closed indefinitely, which is sad. You can find suggestions using the Google Keyword Planner tool, Merchant Words, and Amazon search bar suggestions, which will surface new ideas. The keywords there will appear in order of search volume, with highest volume first and on down. So that was the first part. The first 5 elements there were responsible for the click. Now we go on to the sale. Number 6, other photos. You actually have 6 more photo slots to show your product in use by real people. Show faces. This increases conversions because humans are projecting themselves into the images of others. This is good. This is a product only. This is better. This is a product and a person. And this is the best. This is product, people, positive lifestyle association. Good, product. Better, product and person. Best, product, people, positive lifestyle association. Also, photos show your product in context, the size, color, use case, etc., which sets expectations and avoids negative reviews like, I thought it was 20 feet, it's only 20 inches. This is this sort of problem. Number 7, use full character limits. It is different for every product category, but typically it's something like this: 150 title, 250 per bullet point times 5, 2,000 in the description, and 250 total backend search terms. Don't exceed these limits, or else Amazon may de-index your listing, i.e. bar you from showing up in search at all. Number 8, persuasive text. Start each bullet with 1 to 3 all caps words to illustrate the main point, because people read, but not really. Touch on core human needs, of which there are 8. These 8. One sentence can screenshot this, by the way. It's pretty cool. One sentence can shift the shopper's perspective, like it can tip the scales and convince them to buy. So definitely put some time into this. Number 9, enhanced brand content. This is optional. You can register your brand via Amazon Brand Registry to enable the use of text and photos in your actual description, not just text in your description. If you're new, this can wait. The need for it will arise as you become more established and start to move on. So here's what a default text description looks like, and here's what an EBC description looks like. You can imagine that with an EBC description, the conversions are better. There's just a little bit more red tape there. You need a trademark of your brand name, etc., etc. Link is there. And number 10, you should be in the right category. An AsteroidX customer was miscategorized by Amazon, and it was costing them thousands a month. We did catch it in the process of running our ads. They contacted Amazon seller support, and it was changed from Amazon's end. So how do you spot something like this? You look at similar products. Example, vinyl record cleaning kits. Cool. Too cool for school. If you're in media storage and organization, if you're in that subcategory, and similar products are in different categories, like other stuff from you, and your sales are suffering, You may be miscategorized. This certain series of events would seem to suggest that. So contact seller support to request a manual category change. There are some things that they can do from their end that sellers, regular pedestrians, simply can't. P.S. A rant about reviews. There's an idea virus that says you need 10 reviews in order to run Amazon ads. Consider, will your conversion rate be higher with 1 positive review versus 0? Yes, but will your conversion rate with 0 reviews be actually 0%? Probably not. Not with good text and photos, assuming those are in place. Besides, ads are actually a good way to get your first review. Like, you run ads, you get the sale, you follow up with that customer on the Amazon buyer-seller messaging service, you convert the purchase to review number 1. We actually have an excellent breakdown of exactly what to say to customers coming up. So now that your listing, your ad is ready, let's make sure you don't lose money, huh? And it's not what you think, huh? Step 2 of 6 ACOS targets. Consider, most sellers use a spray and pray approach, losing money without even knowing it, but not you. Here is the secret to doing it right. We need to understand, we need to go deeper. We need to understand your true costs. For example, you sell this ASIN. Nice bundling, by the way. Very nice job. Collect these 4 pieces of info. The Amazon definitions are below. You need your ASIN, which you can get just from the, if you're on your public Amazon listing, it's right there in the URL. It starts with B0. Your retail price. The cost per unit to ship to Amazon FBA. The cost per unit from your supplier. So get these 4 things queued up for this section. Let's do that. A few moments later, we have all that stuff. You pop these 4 figures into the Oscar-nominated Fulfillment by Amazon Revenue Calculator. The link is there. I will add a lot of these links in the description and also in the blog article version of this video. So feel free to do your own pricing along with us as we do this. I'm going to take this one step at a time, and you'll probably have enough time to do it there. So enter your ASIN and hit search, first of all, to pull up your particular product. Then enter the other 3 figures that we just found. So number 2, of course, is at your discretion. Number 3 and 4 were negotiated with your supplier. Hit calculate. And boom, Amazon forecasts its referral and FBA fees for your particular ASIN. So now you have all your costs, literally all of them. A closer look is like this, and for the first time, your unit economics, the basic sort of building block, the square Lego block of your business is in one place. So $32.70 in revenue and all these costs, and it comes out to $13.08 in net profit. In other words, you pocket $13.08 for each sale at $32.70. In this pie chart, the light blue chunk is your profit, visually represented. All of this to say you have a 40% net margin. So for every $1 earned, you pocket roughly 40 cents. So this is a good benchmark. You want to aim to keep 40 cents on the dollar. Why is that? Well, the more profit per sale, the more you can spend to acquire a customer through ads. And so, therefore, the more sales. The higher your Amazon ranking, the more sales. The higher your Amazon ranking, it's a loop. But the loop never starts without ample margin. So that's why. That's why a 25%, or a $25 rather, plus a price point is suggested, and on that, a 40% net margin. And so let's talk break-even ACOS. So I ask you, question. At what point is a sale neither a profit nor a loss? It's just a break-even. In our example above, of course, that's 40%. So that's to say we can spend up to $13.08 on Amazon PPC clicks to get one sale of $32.70 in revenue. It's 40% margin. We don't make money, we don't lose money either. It's sort of in this weird in-between. This point is our break-even ACOS, the twilight zone. Therefore, you know that each sale is profitable for you as long as the ACOS, spend divided by sales, is below 40%. So let's get clear about this. Let's really zoom in on the profit. Let's isolate this chunk. Think of this blue 40% chunk as our ammo, ammunition, the fuel to run Amazon ads reliably that get customers every single day, increase ranking, and get reviews. Okay, so we have this. Let's talk ideal ACOS. And you might be asking, isn't the ideal ACOS like 1%? Like, isn't it as low as possible, you ask? Well, not always. Some sellers actually want a higher ACOS. And this is where it's good to be watching something like this, where you kind of get these nuances, because you've probably been told up to this point that a low ACOS is a good thing. What it is two different strategies along a sort of slider bar. Aggressivo sellers want an ACOS of break even or above, like 50% plus, 65% plus, to get ranking and reviews, because increased ranking equals more organic sales, which pay for the PPC spend later. You're delaying profit to grow the company, effectively. You're playing a much longer, larger game. This is used to launch new products and also break into competitive markets. Those are two very common use cases that we see at AsteroidX. This brings you a total number of sales that is larger, like you have more sales volume, but sometimes the cost of getting each sale is more expensive, because not only are you bidding for your proven long tail keywords like Japanese Zen garden when you sell Japanese Zen gardens, but you're also bidding for broader general keywords like meditation, office decor. These general terms still do get sales, but they convert at a slightly lower rate. Like fewer people in 10 buy, because it's just less specific. It's less tailored to them. However, that's not really the concern for an aggressive seller. They're wanting to increase the overall sales volume to get rank and to dominate their space. Prudente sellers, this is the opposite. Sellers want a lower ACOS, 35% or less, let's say, to get profitable sales from day one. This is very different already. You can probably see profitable unit economics over high sales volume. That's what's more important. It's slow, it's steady. This is often used, for example, if we go into an account that has just started working with us and the ACOS is too high, it's like 100%, we will often deploy this strategy to rein it in. You can also deploy it if you're on a budget in general. As you can see, this brings you a smaller number of total sales. The sales volume is lower, but each sale has a higher profit margin because you're bidding for keywords you know will work. It's Japanese Zen garden for Japanese Zen gardens. It's fish in a barrel. We also bid lower, which we will talk about in depth coming up. You bid lower, you intentionally leave out or limit broader keywords. So meditation and office decor would not likely be, unless we saw them converting really well, in the mix here. This brings, so those things could have brought higher sales, but also higher ACOS, and that's what we're steering away from. So now you have a sort of understanding of how to approach this. Let's go back to your 40% blue profit slice here. You know your number. It's 40%. So we can actually play with this and adjust it like a thermostat, effectively, to reach your goals. So on one side of the spectrum, this A1, this highly aggressive strategy, maybe you spend $15 in pay-per-click clicks to get a sale. So that's minus 192 in profit. You get, this is unit economics again. You get $32.70 in revenue, and you spend $15. It's a 46% ACOS. So in the end, you lose a couple bucks a unit, but you're maximizing sales, ranking, and reviews, obviously, because the current review rate is anywhere from 1 to 5%, depending on what kind of follow-up sequence you have going. Again, we're going to talk about that, but you might have lost a few bucks there, but how much is a review or 10 worth to you in the long run? How much is keyword ranking worth to you in the long run? These things can be very financially valuable. And moving slightly over to the right on this sliding bar, we spent $12.95 to get the sale. That's 15 cents in net profit. So $32.70 in revenue and $12.95 in ad spend. This is a 40% ASOS, 40% ACOS. You broke even effectively. You made 15 cents, but you're increasing your sales, ranking, and reviews. Fine. Let's cross the center dividing line and go into the Prudente aisle here. We spent $6.54 to get a sale. That's $6.54 in net profit. That's like $32.70 in revenue and $6.54 in ad spend. That's a 20% ACOS. You pocket $654. That's real hard cash in the bank. You get the cash now, and perhaps, or most certainly, you get a lower number of overall sales, but who cares? I mean, you're profitable. If we want to take that to its logical extreme, in a P1 type of position, $1.30 to get the sale, $11.78 in profit. Quite good. So $32.70 in revenue and $1.30 spent to get a sales of 4% ACOS. This is attainable, but it takes some time because initially with pay-per-click you were sort of buying data. You're seeing what's working and what's not, and as a result you're going to make some mistakes. Some keywords are not going to yield the sales that you thought they were going to yield, and as such your ACOS gets inflated. But over time, of course, if you've negated everything that didn't work and only use what's working, 90 days later, of course you can have a 4% ACOS. Your sales volume might be low, but of course you can have it. So yeah, in this case you pocketed $11.78. That's good. This is lots of cash right now, and an overall a number of sales that is quite low, but it is profitable. But I've shown you 4 different game plans really, but what it is it's more like a story. A story of a new ASIN usually looks like this. You start aggressivo. You get the sales required to rank on page 1 organically. You see the organic sales. You love it. It's great. You lift your foot off the gas then. You prune the ad spend back. You negate some things. And then you enjoy long-term profitability while you're ranking at the top. So over time, generally speaking, ad spend decreases and profit increases, but not overnight. AsteroidX produces quick wins in 30 days, sure, but you could probably get profit at scale in about 90 days. But yes, it should work in overall progression like this. Of course, you can stay aggressive for longer, or you can aim for Prudente profitability out of the gate. It's whatever you'd like, but this is a good framework and a good way to think about a progression towards profitability. So let's do a little recap. I mean, in step 1, your ad, i.e. your listing, is optimized, so it's ready to go. We have a product that we can really advertise, and it converts well. In step 2, which was just now, like we broke down all the numbers. You have your break-even ACOS, and you have identified one of these strategies that you're going to start out with. Let's run some flipping ads. Step 3 of 6, the auto campaigns. Recall the vinyl record cleaning kit. Shopper types a keyword, your ad appears. Cool, no problem, pretty straightforward. This structure, or I guess this universe that we're playing in, is called sponsored products. There are 2 types of ads under the sponsored products umbrella. There's automatic and manual, and there's also sponsored brands, which is kind of like the ugly cousin, but more on that in step 6. So auto. Okay, Amazon chooses the keywords that you appear for, and manual, you choose the keywords you appear for. Fair enough, sort of like the difference in cars. In automatic, campaigns discover new, long-tail, profitable keywords you might not have thought of because Amazon does all of the picking. Manual is usually campaigns with hand-picked keywords that you know make sales. You have 100% control over the bids and the match types. It's sort of think of it as a funnel. It's a 1-2 step. Auto finds ideas, and then manual thoroughly cashes in on those ideas. A diamond metaphor, because who doesn't love a good diamond metaphor? Auto mines, manual shines. No one says that. But here's a more comprehensive breakdown of the differences between the two. Super cool diagram. Take a screenshot. Why don't you? AsteroidX.me. Why don't you? Effectively, there are pros and cons to each. It's really, it's a movement of keywords and budgets from auto to manual is sort of the top level understanding of this. Auto discovers, and then manual cashes in on those discoveries and gives you more control. The budget will shift, from 50-50 on day 1 to, probably 80-20 in favor of manual from on day 60 to 90, something like this. So anyway, that said, we're going to be running both from day 1. So we'll create the auto first, which is what we're doing here in step 3. Amazon says the following. They say that auto campaigns use your product information, in other words, your listing text, and Amazon historical sales data to guess which keywords will make sales, and then they will run ads against those keywords. I mean, that's why you researched and added keywords to your listing in step 1 to 6, right? Right? You did that? Because without keyword density, the auto will not work properly. What? You skipped it? All right, jump back to step 1, point number 5. It's cool. Optimized?
Wow.
Let's run the autos. So before hopping in, let's clarify terms. This is like Russian nesting dolls. It's one element housed inside another. The ASIN is your listing. It's your product. It's what you sell. Your ASIN is promoted via campaigns, either auto or manual. Inside of those campaigns are ad groups. It's a group of ads sharing the same set of keywords and products inside. So so inside ad groups are the keywords, and those are the particular searches for which the ASIN will appear. That's just getting the terminology down cold. So let's set up the first one. You just go to Amazon Seller Central and you hit Advertising, Campaign Manager, Create Campaign, Sponsored Products. And that brings us here. You'll see 4 things, 4 inputs, the campaign name, for which we use the naming convention ASIN or product line _ automatic, because we're doing the automatic right now. The end date, set it for 14 days from now. You can make it indefinite, but just for the purposes of this exercise, we're going to be running these ads for 14 days and then reassessing based on that. So the daily budget, 25 a day or more, targeting, automatic targeting versus manual, which is what we'll do in step 4. So the end date, why 14 days? It's just enough time. Amazon reports PPC sales 48 hours after the fact, roughly 48, 72, and sales can be attributed a full 7 days after the initial click. So like the shopper clicks, they leave, they come back later, and they buy it. So welcome to Lag City. Population, you, and 2 million other people, no problem. And growing. And you might ask, daily budget, why $25 a day? Well, it's a limit. It's a ceiling. It basically means that you won't spend any more than this each day on this auto. You may not spend the entire budget if Amazon's ad inventory is lacking that day, but whatever. That's the maximum. The average Amazon-wide cost per click currently is around 80 cents. This is subject to change and most likely increase in future. But for now, $25 a day will buy you roughly 30 people clicking through to your listing. A healthy Amazon conversion rate, or unit session percentage as they call it, is 10%. So expect roughly 1 to 3 sales a day from a $25 a day ad budget. Recall, auto equals 50% of your total daily ad spend at this point. If you spend $25 a day here in auto, prepare to spend another $25 a day on manual for a total daily ad spend of $50. Spend more, if possible. If you spend less, the ads aren't served all day. Amazon says the following. Most campaigns with a budget over $30 run throughout the day. It is a veiled threat. Don't ask a barber if you need a haircut sort of thing. Of course, Amazon wants you to spend more, but in this case, we do find it to be true. You need data on which keywords work anyway, so why not expedite it? I mean, it can either take 2 weeks or 2 months with reduced spend or more spend to get the same result, so it's kind of up to you. Next, select which products you want this auto campaign to promote. So if you have one ASIN, just add that, just hit the add button. One ad group per ASIN is best because you'll understand sales results on a more granular product by product basis. If this one ASIN has multiple SKUs, like color, sizes, or anything like that, you should make one ad group per SKU to understand sales among variations as well. Same logic there. If you have hundreds of ASINs and making separate autos is impractical, just run one auto per group of closely related products. I will give an example. So your auto company, Atlantic British. It's a proper British name. Yeah, you have one ASIN, which is these windshield wipers. It would be best if it had its own auto campaign, but you have multiple window wiper ASINs with some substantial keyword overlap, so you can throw both of these into an automatic. So finishing up here, you get a default bid. This, similar to your daily budget, means that you won't spend more than this per click. You'll probably spend less. Current Amazon-wide average is 80 cents. This will increase over time. Some benchmarks, perhaps. Care for some benchmarks. 50 cents for non-competitive niches, your arthritis silverware, your lizard hammocks, your beekeeping supplies. $1.50 for average niches, some saturation, but not extreme. Sports and outdoors, home and kitchen, tools and home improvement. And $3 for competitive niches, supplements, health, beauty and personal care, the latest iPhone case, what have you. So negative keywords, just leave that blank. This functions to specify what keywords you don't want to appear for. You can say, Amazon, don't show my ads for this keyword or keywords related to this. But since this initial auto is just for us to discover new ideas, anything goes, so you don't need to fill anything in there. And hit the launch campaign button. And your automatic is up. Now you just leave it for 14 days. This is important, just to set expectations properly, what to expect from your auto campaigns. Well, first things first. It's going to be a higher ACOS because auto bids on these sort of high, mid, and low relevance keywords alike. They're just going to look at your listing optimization that you've done here from step 1, and they're going to say, okay, this product relates to X, Y, and Z. I'm going to show it for, keywords K, L, and M. That's just how Amazon's going to run things. So yeah, expect a higher ACOS off the bat. And you can lower it over time by negating things, as we just saw above, that you have the option to do that. A maximum total ad spend of $350. That's just 14 days at $25 a day. That's just what you're going to spend. 1 to 3 sales a day, assuming a $25 a day budget and a 10% conversion rate. These numbers will fluctuate on a case by case, but that's approximately what to expect. Now we get to the fun stuff. This is manual. 4 of 6, of course, you knew this was coming, the manual campaigns. Recall, auto finds new keyword ideas. It plants seeds. Manual grows seeds into full, profitable campaign trees. You like that? That's pretty apt. It's pretty apt. Start with a 50-50 daily budget distribution. 50% auto, 50% manual. That's $25, $25, 50-50, 100, 100, etc. And over time, shift spend from 50% auto and 50% manual to 20% auto, 80% manual, or even more in manual. P.S. Already a pro? You got keyword themes you want to test? Just a lot more to manual off the bat, like a 60-40 or an 80-20. All right, let's set up the first manual campaign. Go into Seller Central, advertising, campaign manager, create campaign, sponsored products, manual targeting. And then you'll see 4 inputs, just like we did with the auto campaign. It's campaign name. Again, use that naming convention. The end date. No end date for this required because we're going to run it, but we're going to check it after 14 days of its foundation here. Daily budget, 25 a day or more. If you're just starting out, again, do the 50-50 auto manual. If you are more experienced and want to test more, err more to manual. Targeting is manual targeting this time instead of auto. Yeah. And as in auto, we choose the ASINs this ad group will promote. So the ad group name up there under settings, just call it broad. And then in products, we select the ASIN or the group of related ASINs that we want to promote in this ad group. Again, yeah, if your ASIN has different SKUs like color or size variants, add only one right now, because we always ideally want to advertise SKUs separately to understand sales performance among variants. Yeah, so all that stuff up until now, like it's pretty much been the same as our auto campaign. But what does manual have that auto doesn't? Keywords and bids. Keywords and bids. In auto, you can't choose which keywords you appear for. It's Amazon's choice. And you have one default bid for all keywords. In manual, however, you pick every keyword by hand that you appear for and how much you pay for each click. So yeah, so filling this in, the default keyword bid, 75 cents is fine. This is unimportant because we will soon set bids on a keyword basis, which will override this default bid. But that's fine. You can leave it at 75. Bid plus, leave unchecked. Amazon raising your bids beyond suggested? No, thank you. No, thank you. Well, they'll obviously want, their incentive is to have you spend more, and also you won't necessarily get an accurate read on what you're paying per click, as that can extend the bids by up to 50%. So yeah. And then select enter keywords instead of suggested there. Enter keywords gives you this, a crystal clear canvas. Which keywords do you enter? Well, it's simple, really. It's a simple principle. If a shopper types this keyword, they buy. That's the kind of keyword you want in there. This initial manual campaign will represent our best guesses at these keywords, a hypothesis. For example, let's make a manual campaign for your world-famous lizard hammocks. I know. Think of manuals in 3 steps, roughly. Get ideas, merchant words, enter into campaign. Get ideas. Here are 4 places to source fresh keyword ideas. The Google Keyword Planner tool, VisuWords, other Amazon listings, and Amazon autocomplete. So we will go through each in turn. Google Keyword Planner tool, you just punch in a main keyword like lizard hammocks. This generates suggestions. You write down relevant ones, like these 4. You search for related terms. You look around a little bit. You click around inside of the planner tool. Then, once the planner is dry, you just go onto these other sources to keep building the list. So here's VisuWords, which delivers a keyword map for the word lizard in this case, and the map moves like Jello, so that's 10 points for Gryffindor. Our list has these, and by VisuWords, we have found and added to our little growing list gecko hammock, lounge lizard, and night lizard. So the third source, other Amazon listings. You search related keywords and comb listings for ideas, like here's a screen cap of the lizard hammock niche typed in as a keyword, and then we can scan titles, just eyeball it, and see if there are keywords that we may have missed in our research thus far. And from this little round, we've got lizard lounger, bearded dragon, iguanas, hermit crabs, and mesh. Something that we didn't necessarily think of, but competitors have included. And sort of along these same lines, we have Amazon autocomplete, which shows keywords based on what you type. So the keywords with the highest volume are going to appear first there and then appear in descending order. So yeah, lizard hammock, bearded dragon would have the highest traffic out of those suggested terms. An honorable mention to thesaurus.com, sometimes helpful, but also sometimes not. And then we go into the second step of this, which is playing with merchant words. You plug your list into merchant words, which estimates monthly search volume. No one really knows what the search volume is because Amazon doesn't publish this data, but thanks to merchant words, you can kind of quantify which keywords are best, i.e. searched most. So you get that. Conduct a bunch of searches based on the keyword list that you have, and then that will sort of give you a master list of keywords plus their monthly search volume, so you know what's important. You basically, so compile a list of 10 to 100 keywords that you really think are going to generate sales. So not only do they have that search volume that is going to drive the impressions and the clicks and the sales for your ads, but they're also highly relevant, or what you consider highly relevant to your product. You're the creator, so you sort of know it best. Yeah, so we have a list there. And a list might look something like this after some refining. Enter these keywords with match type broad selected, then hit add keywords. Next, we have a negative keyword option. Again, leave this blank because this specifies keywords you don't want to appear for. And like the auto before it, this initial manual is for discovery and sales, but mostly discovery, and sort of anything goes. So we don't want to close any doors just yet. If you've got your manual keywords entered as broad match type, just hit launch campaign. And so you should now have 2 campaigns running, 1 auto, 1 manual, each at $25 a day. Now, return to your existing manual campaign by clicking its name, then hit Create Ad Group, then enter the same manual keyword list that you built around Lizard Hammock. So the exact same keyword list that you entered in Broad Match, you're going to enter it again, and you're going to enter it actually 2 more times for a total of 3 times, once for each of the 2 other match types. So phrase and exact, and we've already done broad.
This is something that's often overlooked, but by entering the same keyword in triplicate, you guarantee that you know which match type gets the best results in the long run, and it'll spawn a lot of ideas. But to wax philosophical for a second, I mean, why do this? If a keyword falls in the forest, does it get the click? What are match types? Keyword match types determine how relevant a shopper's search has to be to trigger your ad. Abraham Lincoln. Example, broad match. It has the most reach and the least precision. You enter lizard hammock, so you show up for, of course, lizard hammock itself, but also hammock lizard. The keywords can be in any order, but also best lizard hammock or lizard hammock gecko. You can, Amazon will add additional words before and after, or hammock for lizards. The words are in a different order, or even where broad match gets like super broad, where it gets its name from, coolest hammock for pets or reptile hammock, and just other terms that are loosely related that Amazon feels are relevant. So that's the broad match. Anything that you have in the manual that's entered as a broad match type will attract all of those different keywords. Then moving down the match typing, you get a little bit more specific with the phrase. So it has like medium reach and medium precision. You enter lizard hammock, you show up for lizard hammock, of course, as before, and you get additional words before and after. So best lizard hammock or lizard hammock gecko, just that. So, you know, the appearance becomes a little bit more limited, but still, as you can imagine, with every single relevant variation of words before and after, that's a larger amount of potential search volume. And finally, at the bottom, with the least reach and the most precision, is exact match. So you enter lizard hammock, you show up for lizard hammock exactly, and that's it. Bid adjustments. The final step of manual setup. You want to tell Amazon how much you want to pay for each click. So click on your manual campaign, then ad group, then keywords. Here is some background. But effectively, we're not doing anything too complicated here. First off is to set all keyword bids to Amazon's suggested bids by hitting apply next to each CPC. Now, most sellers will stop here, but not you. You've got the AsteroidX factor. You see, most sellers pick suggested bid, like we just did, making this cost per click the LA traffic of Amazon advertising. You can enjoy more clicks without spending much more at all by adding even, say, like 3% to each suggested bid. You bid a fraction more, but you win exposure because you win the bid auction more often. So, 3% generally means like a 5 to 10% raise. And if you've got the hustler's ambition, 50 cent. Consider, you won't always pay your max bid. This number tells Amazon, I'll pay up to $2.12 for someone to click my ad, but in our experience, your cost per click will be under your max that you set. You might be thinking of working with AsteroidX. Well, we'll monitor your bids 24/7 to maximize clicks while maintaining your ACOS numbers in step 2. It's a delicate balance. Let's chat if you want. But another reason for bidding higher, not all campaigns are created equal. In general, new campaigns have worse visibility, and older campaigns have better visibility, especially if those campaigns have got sales before. Amazon is just less likely to display keywords for new campaigns because they lack traffic and sales history. So to overcome this, to sort of compensate for this, we bid higher initially to force visibility, then scale down over time. Of course, we don't want you paying a lot of money, an exorbitant amount for clicks, because that drives up the ACOS and drives down profitability. But initially, at this first stage, to grab Amazon's attention, we are bidding above suggested to just like we're the proper height to get on the ride, sort of thing. Anyway, we'll lower bids in step 6 of 6 once we have sufficient data. This auto and manual run is followed by a 14-day wait, so 2 weeks later. Step 5 of 6, reports. If you get here and you haven't run ads for 14 days yet, just keep going so you know what to expect. In entrepreneurship, after all, the best surprise is no surprise. It's good for your blood pressure too. Amazon PPC troubleshoot. Okay, so assuming at this point that your auto and manuals have run for 14 days, cool. All right, let's see how they worked. Well, first we will get a top-level sort of macro view using Campaign Manager, then see micro details via search term report. let's start with the Campaign Manager. It is big picture time. Campaign Manager is like one of those trendy gender reveals. At one glance, you'll know the gender, but not specifics like eyes, hair color, and if they got your pointy eyebrows. For all that sort of stuff in detail, you'll need the search term report, which we'll look at after. But enough stalling. Click Advertising, Campaign Manager, and brace yourself. You're going to see one of 4 possible outcomes here. There's a good outcome, there's 2 moderate outcomes, and 1 bad outcome. The matrix looks like this in 4 quadrants. We'll say a few words about each. Outcome number 1, the good outcome, high sales, low spend. If you got outcome number 1, your ad account looks something like this. Your sales far exceed your spend, which means dividing spend by sales, your ACOS is beautifully low. So it's good. When Amazon advertising serves your product as an ad, it sells. The listing is categorized correctly. Bids are high enough to serve ads. You get clicks, you convert. In step 6 of 6, you'll leverage this out of the gate overnight success to scale sales and cut what little spend you have, Mr. 10% ACOS. And when I say Mr., I'm just playing the odds here. Wait, what do you mean your Campaign Manager doesn't look like this? I'm just kidding. Welcome to the club. If you achieve outcome number 1 off the bat, congratulations. Shonen jump to step 6 of 6. If this isn't you, that's all correct. English for okay. Outcome number 1 is unusual off the bat, and here's how you deal with other outcomes. Starting with outcome number 2, moderate. High sales, high spend. You got sales, but your spend is higher than desired, resulting in a high, sort of unprofitable ACOS. Outcome number 2 is in fact the most common outcome for the first 14 days and is still cause for celebration because it means that your ads were served, got sales, and all you need to do is trim the fat, i.e. reduce ad spend on keywords that didn't get results. We'll do this in step 6 of 6. Consider. We just ran ads for a bunch of Amazon algo-generated keywords plus our list of best guesses. We basically threw an open invitation house party and a bunch of people showed up and broke a few vases. Or is it vases? Leave a comment. Of course some keywords didn't get sales. By definition, your ads are the worst that they'll ever be. Okay, but what's the good news? Well, the good news is that if you're here in outcome number 2, a subset of keywords did get sales. So we'll grow the winners, cut the losers, and ACOS will drop over time. That's the whole reason why AsteroidX conceptualizes Amazon PPC as a 90-day process in the first place. Month 1 is about buying data. It's high sales, high spend. Month 2, scaling what worked. Higher sales, lower spend. Month 3, ongoing optimization. Highest sales, lowest spend. Speaking of low spend, here in this quadrant we have outcome number 3, moderate, low sales, low spend. It's the sound of silence. Outcome number 3, it's minimal, almost poetic in a way, but also in a real, more accurate sort of way.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
At least outcome number 2 had heavy sales volume, right? Which lets you chisel your block of ad spend marble into a profit statue. So what does it mean? If you're here in outcome number 3, it means that your ads lack exposure. It's time to troubleshoot this. First things first, do your campaigns spend their daily budget? If not, simply increase bids by 10 to 20% above suggested. Resume running ads for another 7 days, then check back. But if we assume that you did spend all or close to your daily budget, if that is the case, then try this. In your Campaign Manager dashboard, hit Add Metric. Your CTR, click-through rate. On Amazon, a great CTR is 1%, this 0.71 is fine. CTR is just basically out of 100 people, 100 people see your ad in search results, how many click the listing? So, 1 in 100 is just fine. That's normal. 0.71, that's fine. This is less fine, but still fine. 0.065 is fine with quotation marks. Take a minute to scream in a pillow. If your CTR is substandard, like 0.01 to 0.25%, improve the 3 main on-page Amazon SEO inputs. Run ads for another 7 days and check again. What are the 3 inputs, you ask? The 3 inputs are what shoppers see when your ad appears. We're talking about image, price, reviews. Example. Here are 2 Amazon sponsored product ads, both served on page 1 for the keyword vacation accessories. The first ad, that orange one, has a higher CTR because the photo. It's bright, it's punchy, it's a good main image, the price is accessible, competitive, the reviews. 10 or more 5-star reviews, which boost social proof, and it's got Prime 2-day shipping. The seller uses FBA, and they've even added a coupon, which sort of makes the search result pop a little bit in organic results. You can actually do this too. It's in Seller Central for free right now. Advertising, coupons, create new coupon. Another thing you can tweak here, the photo. So you might want to test a different main photo for the next 7 days to see if it gets more clicks and your CTR increases. As suggested in step 1 of 6, you want your photographer to take multiple main images of your product for split testing for exactly this reason. If you have a subpar CTR, price, you can make your price more approachable, red lower. Here's the Amazon FBA revenue calculator again to check your margins to make sure that this is permissible. Reviews. Okay, let's chat about reviews for a second. You should be sending a follow-up sequence of at least 3 messages via Amazon's buyer-seller messaging service. In these messages, email 1 is about the service, email 2 is about value, and email 3 is the ask for a review. If this seems like a lot of communication, it's just because these review sequences are a numbers game, so the more shoppers who buy from you that you approach, the more you can lift your review rate off the ground. So here are some guidelines about what to say in each message. In the blog article version of this video, you can also just copy and paste these messages for use, or you can just screenshot this and sort of make your own variations of that. So with these messages and sending them to everybody who buys from you, your review rate, the number of customers versus customers reviewing can climb from the default about 1% to 3 to 5%. And again, I know I sound like a broken vinyl record cleaning kit, but make sure you're in the right category. And make sure that your title starts with the most common name of your product, the main keyword. And again, you might hear this and think, but Pat, my Amazon SEO fundamentals are sound, and your CTR is in the 0.5 to 1% plus range, then don't change a thing on your page, SEO-wise. Instead, increase bids. In step 4 of 6, we set manual campaigns bidding suggested plus 3%. I would crank that up to suggested plus 10 to 20% to increase exposure. Run your ads again for 7 days, then check back. Okay, now we've talked about 3 out of 4 parts of the quadrant, but what about the worst part? What about outcome number 4? Bad. It's low sales and high spend. Your ad gets clicks, but the clicks don't convert to sales. Maybe 0 sales, maybe low sales, maybe a 401% ACOS, or the point is outcome number 4 is utterly delinquent. It's those kids that shoved school papers into their backpacks without using a binder in grade school. So it's time for the guidance counselor. Here are 3 possible reasons for outcome number 4. Reason 1, your ads display in the right places, but your listing is still unoptimized. Confusing photos, unappealing price, non-descriptive, reviews are 4-star or less, etc. So ad traffic clicks but doesn't buy. In this case, don't be delusional American Idol contestant about it. Just admit that your listing can't sing so you can fix it. Here is the ultimate fix. It's my free 30-minute Amazon SEO guide, about 200,000 views and seen an entrepreneur. It's solid stuff. It's worked. Just read the comments. It has worked for people who've just applied the info. Reason 2, aliens landed in Roswell, New Mexico in June 1947 and the Air Force covered it up. Or reason 3, your listing is optimized but Amazon hasn't correctly classified it and uses low relevance sponsored ad placements. So the fix there is to ask yourself, is my product in the right category? If closely comparable products are in a different category, your listing's optimized, and sales are bad, then it's time to reassess, right? Like contact Amazon seller support to request a manual category change. If that still doesn't work and they are not changing your category, but you feel strongly that it should be changed, you can escalate this thing. Email the office of Jeff Bezos, it's jeff@amazon.com, and get a thorough, well-researched response. That is often the Hail Mary, but it works most of the time. So now you know how to fix your Amazon advertising performance on a macro level. You've got one of those 4 outcomes. You know broadly. Now you will know specifically. Let's jump to the search term report. This, in many ways, is the bread and butter of Amazon PPC, and we're going to be looking at this. If the campaign manager was macro view, this is the micro view. So download your search term report via reports. Advertising reports, report type, search term, create report. Easy enough. make sure just that the report period there is the 2 weeks that we ran the ads. Then hit create report. May take a sec. Open the spreadsheet in your program of choice. Moi, j'utilise Google Drive. Lots of data, so don't let that faze you. Consider, the sole purpose of this report is to divide good keywords from the bad ones, then act accordingly. That's it. Got outcome number 2, 3, or 4. You've bought 2 weeks of Amazon PPC data. We can now analyze and act on this data to run better ads. Like Roswell 1947, this report is a slight cover-up. The seller works with us at AsteroidX, so I've redacted campaign name, ad group name, keywords, and search term for privacy, or as they say in the UK, privacy. But the data is accurate, and that's really all we need. If anything, it's just less clutter to look at. So let's meet the 4 main characters of the Amazon search term report. The campaign name, right? This is the internal name you gave the campaign. AsteroidX uses the naming convention ASIN, or product line, _ manual, or automatic, depending on the campaign type. Ad group name, inside campaigns. This is groups of keywords advertised under broad, phrase, or exact match type umbrellas. The keyword is inside the ad group. That is the specific word you put in an ad group to try and get sales, like lizard hammock before. In auto, Amazon picks them. In manual, you pick them. So that's all review. But there is a new thing that comes with search term reports. This is the customer search term. If the keyword is what you told Amazon to run ads for, the customer search term is what the customer actually searched and clicked. Note, the customer search term may be different from the keyword you picked. This is literally true most of the time of keywords that you entered as broad and phrase match types, but as you can imagine, not keywords that you entered as an exact match type where you appear for like only the exact keyword that you picked. Example, you entered keyword lizard hammock with broad match, so Amazon serves your ad when a customer types reptile tent. So keyword is what you entered is lizard hammock, and the customer search term that you'll see in this report is what the customer actually searched is reptile tent. Let's make sense of this report. Sort the doc by column N, that is 7-day total sales from highest to lowest. Use like Z to A or largest to smallest, so your best sellers appear first. Just scroll down there and find the row in column N where 7-day total sales starts to equal $0. In our example search term report here, this point is between rows 135 and 136. Just insert a new row, just pop that in there to split up the search term reports into 2 parts, which you can then divide by a black line, just so it stands out. To the north of the black line, terms that made sales, that's rows 1 to 134. And to the south, terms that didn't, that's rows 135 and below. And so this means, if you do the math, 134 out of 4,562, only 3% of customer search terms made sales, and 97% didn't. Sad. You'll have like more or fewer terms in this depending on your spend, the number of ASINs, and keywords. But to give you a sense of scale, this particular seller has about $4,000 a month in ad spend and gets a 9x return. It's good sales volume and a tight ACOS. Visit asteroidx.me for results like this. We can do it for you. So anyway, you've got this black line in effect. So you've got your haves and you've got your have-nots, but you've also got your like super haves, the 1%. So to find those, here's what we do. Of the keywords that made sales, like north of the black line, isolate those with more than one sale. We're going to sort column Q, that's 7-day total orders, from highest to lowest. And then just make another black line separating keywords with one sale from those with more than one sale. The numbers here, just as they work out in this particular report, 29 out of 4,562, that's 0.64% of keywords made more than one sale. And of those top 29 superstar customer search terms, sales are actually pretty evenly distributed, so that's nice. So now you have 2 black lines in your search term report denoting 3 very different tiers. Keywords with 0 sales, which are no good so far in our first 14-day run. Keywords with 1 sale, which are promising. And keywords with more than 1 sale, and they're good. You know pretty much beyond the shadow of a doubt or a black line that these are good terms to use. So it's time to use this data that we've broken down into 3 parts to scale, cut costs, and begin your rightful reign at the top. It's time for the most important step, step 6, campaign optimization. All right, so we sliced our search term report into 3 parts, right? Keywords with 0 sales, keywords with 1 sale, and keywords with more than 1 sale. So let's start with this section up here, the keywords with no sales, and we'll go through our first optimization action, which is to cut wasted ad spend. Recall, exact broad phrase match lets you specify which keywords you want to appear for, okay? Similarly, negative keywords let you specify which keywords you don't want to appear for, ever in 1,000 years, ever. What we're going to do to bring down your ACOS and reallot the budget to things that actually do well, which is basically the point here in this first optimization task, is that we will make a list of customer search terms we don't want to appear for going forward ever, ever, ever. Think of it as like a keyword blacklist. So our search term report is blank for privacy, but column H in your search term report, south of the final black line, is full of keywords that didn't make any sales. This is the sad group. No prob, you say, leaning back in your lazy boy recliner. I pay pennies per click, it's no problem. Yes, prob. Ad spend adds up. The total cost of every customer search term with a click but no sales in this report, $1,515.84. Drilling down, sort your 0 sale column, just the ones that didn't make sales, by spend. That's column M from highest to lowest. In this case, the 2 most wasteful terms, 60.48 and 53.59 respectively, both of which made $0 across a 2-week period. So these are prime candidates for free 2-day shipping straight out of your life, if you know what I mean. Okay, so you should probably take those, save them, and put them as negative keywords in those campaigns. But what other customer search terms should you negate? Like our conversation of like ACOS in step 2, it's kind of up to you. It's 2 different types of people, in a sense. On the one hand, your budget is tight. You look at your 0 sale customer search terms, and you don't feel that they're that relevant to the product. You could negate this entire 0 sales section. On the other hand, you've got a budget to experiment. You look at your customer search terms and you feel that they are relevant to the product, but they just haven't paid off yet for whatever reason. They just haven't had their moment in the sun. So you could negate nothing or only negate in part. That said, draw the line somewhere. Don't leave wasted ad spend unchecked indefinitely. Here are 3 criteria you can use to negate keywords despite the allure of, future payoff that may never come. If a customer search term gets 0 sales but 10 clicks, or $10 in ad spend, or 1,000 impressions. Just heuristics there. Then turn it off by adding it as a negative keyword. These are approximate, but the ideas are right. This is how to negate keywords. Copy and paste the underperforming customer search terms, not the keywords, but the customer search terms, and then do this. Advertising, campaign manager, click into a campaign, like whichever one that these keywords originated from. Negative keywords, add negative keywords, match type equals negative exact. A crystal clear canvas. Add your blacklist to the auto and manual campaigns where these 0 sale terms originated. This ensures that you won't advertise for these terms in these campaigns again. Daily budget flows to remaining stronger keywords, sort of natural selection style. Amazon regards your campaigns as more relevant over time, and everything starts to go better. Negative keywords, a haiku. Add as negative, visibility improves, CPC soon drops. Okay, all right, we're getting to the ones that actually did well. So PPC optimization 2, bid adjustments for manuals. We've now stopped some of the bleeding, which was a defensive move. Time to leverage keywords that made sales in our 2-week run. This is an offensive move. Focusing first on a specific subset of keywords with sales, keywords with higher than desired ACOS. All right, so they made sales, but let's be real. Current ACOS exceeds your desired limit that you set in step 2 of 6. In our search term report, ACOS equals column O. They've got potential, so don't negate them. It's the 3-second rule. Eat the donut, the keyword, even though it fell on the floor, high ACOS. What to do? Just keep calm and bid lower. Keep these customer search terms in their original manual campaigns. They're not negated like 0 sale terms. Just simply lower the bids inside their current campaigns. Recall, Up to now, we bid at suggested or maybe suggested plus 3%. Now, cut bids by 15% per week to see if you can appear, but at a cheaper CPC, cost per click. Recall, Amazon determines sponsored products placement via dynamic real-time auction. Oh yeah, so bid price is only one factor. Others include campaign age and success, perceived product relevance, listing optimization, product sales history for the keyword, etc. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. It's not publicized, of course, but point is, bid price is only one factor. Even if you bid below suggested CPC, you may still appear if Amazon serves your ads on page 2, 3, 4, etc. Amazon considers your product highly relevant to the search, i.e. likely to convert, or others have spent their daily budgets already and you appear off hours, like at night. Here are 2 warnings vis-a-vis decreasing bids. Bid adjustment warning 1. Don't de-escalate bids too fast. Example, a customer search term has a 200% ACOS and an average $1.50 CPC. That ACOS is too high, so you bid at $1.25 this week, then check performance back in 7 days. That's the right way to do it. Don't, like 2008 stock market plunge to a 5-cent bid immediately, or you will free fall past the ideal bid threshold and price yourself out of the auction altogether. You'll just stop appearing. Because Amazon's like, okay, if you're going to be cheap about it, I'm just going to take you out of the auction. 5 cents? Are you kidding? Bid adjustment warning 2. Don't de-escalate bids without sufficient data. Just as you set minimum criteria for negating a 0 sales term, remember that? Set criteria for bid reduction. You want to get enough data before actually making a decision that will limit the scope of your ads, because we're considering taking this and benching this player altogether. So before we do that, you want to make sure you have enough data. So, example. Collect at least 1,000 impressions, more like 5,000 would be better, prior to bid adjustment, as your CPC may self-correct over time. The more data, the more credible your results. But in general, just reduce bids by 15% every week and check back every week. The cardinal sin of Amazon PPC isn't poor ad performance. Everyone has that. It's not doing anything about poor ad performance. The third, PPC optimization step, the third, graduating keywords, is really cool. So we will finish with how to treat your high sale, low ACOS terms. In other words, like the best terms from the keywords that got sales. But before that, a quick recap. Here's what to do with every type of keyword that you encounter in your search term report. If it is no sales, no clicks, and no ACOS, you don't need to do anything. It's harmless. These are ghost terms that don't even show in reports because they did not get anything. There's no score on the board whatsoever. If, second category, no sales, yes clicks, yes ACOS, you negate some and you keep some. Remember, this is at your discretion. It depends on your budget and how much you believe in the keywords that haven't paid off just yet. Yes sales, yes clicks, yes ACOS. Then you bid adjust. If from manual, keep in their original manual and just do the bid adjustments inside of that campaign. If they are from auto, then yes, you need to put them in a new manual campaign so you can control the bids, because you cannot control bids on a keyword level in a automatic campaign. And the fourth quadrant, if they've got sales and they've got clicks and a low ACOS, you can graduate them to their own manual to control their bids, and this is what we're going to talk about now. This fourth quadrant, this happy fourth quadrant, the A players, they have sales, they have a good ACOS, they graduated with honors, and your heart aches with joy. These keywords will now start their own solo careers. Consider. Beyonce Knowles started her career in girl group Destiny's Child, overshadowed her peers, then broke into a successful solo career. Same with your keywords, right? 2 weeks in, high sales, low ACOS, Beyonce's emerge and get solo campaigns with more budget, more sales, more visibility. You get the picture. Here's how to mechanically sort of graduate winning terms. Example, we sell arthritis silverware. Good niche, rather smart of you. Did you use AsteroidX? After 2 weeks of ads, slice your search term report in the 3 parts that we talked about. No sales, 1 sale, more than 1 sale. The following 5 customer search terms had more than 1 sale and an ACOS under desired limits. This is just hypothetical. It's an example. Arthritis silverware set, adaptive utensils, grip cutlery, senior silverware. Look at them. Look. Look at me.
Sure. I'm the captain now.
Yes. Anyway, spot themes in the form of common words and concepts. Really think about these search terms that were produced and what they relate to, what else they relate to, what families, what thematic themes they belong to. So keywords arthritis and silverware appear multiple times, so we can pull on that thread. Keyword adaptive, that's related to like rehabilitation, assisted living, ergonomics. The keyword senior or seniors, that's older people, that's caring for older people. These themes for you, they may include like namesakes of your customers, like rock climbers, cyclists, new moms, or product use cases, surveillance, darkroom photography, barbecuing. And if you've got some brand recognition, manual campaigns built around brand names, like your own brand name, often see high sales and low ACoS because people are looking for you and they find you. That's an easy win. Okay, so think about it, and do you have your themes? Okay, so now we simply replicate your keyword research process from step 4 of 6 and build out 2 to 5, I would say, new manual campaigns, each manual campaign around the concepts that have been proven and sort of developed by this 2-week preliminary ad run. To jog your memory, the flow is this. Just enter these keywords with the same match type as they had in their campaign of origin, pre-Beyonce, pre-solo career. Next, you add these same customer search terms as negative exact match to the older automatic and manual campaigns that birthed them, like the campaigns that they came from. Why is this? You want to avoid bidding on them both here and there in your old campaigns. So a keyword shouldn't really exist in 2 places at once. This process of building a new manual campaign for that keyword and then negating them in the keyword in the campaign that they came from is effectively moving over keywords from their old home to a new one. Okay, now run your new manuals for another 14 days. You add and negate more keywords based on that data. You check in another 14 days, etc. On the highest level, it's an exodus of keywords from automatic to manual, from guessing to knowing, from testing to control. As keywords move from auto to manual, you want to shift a corresponding amount of your daily ad spend towards them. Example, if you're on auto at $25 a day and manual at $75 a day for a total daily ad spend across auto and manual of $100. You then graduate some keywords that were spending $5 a day in your auto. You graduate those keywords from your auto to a manual. Therefore, your new daily budget distribution is auto $20 a day, manual $80. So from $25.75 to $20.80 because you moved over keywords and the budget moves with them. But basically with enough time and knowledge is something you now have, Amazon PPC trends to perfection. Not all things in life can be perfect, but PPC can be. It's effectively a giant data science problem. A quick word with you about ongoing maintenance. It's not just set it and forget it, primarily because customer search volume and bid prices always change. So here are 5 things that you're going to want to do on your ads on a weekly basis to make sure that you're getting the best results and you're not losing auctions or anything like this. The first is optimization. This is what we've been talking about. So download your search term report once a week, check results on a keyword level, and act accordingly. You're going to want to identify new themes and actually build more dedicated manual campaigns around those themes. That's how you scale sales. It's not by getting lucky. It's by pointing out these new themes, these seed keywords, and testing those in manual. And eventually some of that stuff is going to work really well. 2 of 5 is bid adjustments. So if you notice, like if you download a search report and you've lost exposure for an important keyword, for example, it's just a matter of increasing your bids. Conversely, if you're spending too much on clicks and the profitability is way down, you're going to want to de-escalate your bids by that 15% a week and then check back. 3 of 5 is special events, like are you launching a new product, and if so, that just requires running steps 1 to 6 for the new ASINs that we've discussed here. You can always come back to this video, you can always refer to it because it is a complete end-to-end sort of launch with pay-per-click strategy. Also, are you selling hammocks in July? Are you selling masks in October? You want to raise budgets and bids to ride waves of seasonal demand as relates to your product line. Sponsored brands. Sponsored brands. I said we'd get to it. So with a strong sort of sponsored products foundation, definitely experiment with sponsored brands. They work the exact same as auto and manuals, but they allow you to advertise multiple products inside of one banner. Example, here are Amazon search results for keyword gender reveal. So sponsored brands has multiple products, one top banner above results. Sponsored products is one product and one spawn results. To be honest, to date, we have found these sponsored brand ads to be a secondary source of revenue, 10, 20%, even in cases where they're effective. I imagine that Amazon will continue to evolve this ad offering as it continues to move towards, brand nirvana or brand centricity. But for now, sponsored brands are an advertising footnote. I think this may change in future, but that's the state of the union right now. But by all means, once your sponsored product ads have stable revenues and you're looking to expand, give sponsored brands a try for sure. They work particularly well for products that share a strong common brand or character. They form a cohesive set or otherwise complementary because, as you can imagine, you might open multiple tabs here and you might cross-sell and upsell that way. But yeah, to date, haven't been overly impressed by the results. And 5 of 5 in this sort of ongoing maintenance section, we have listing reoptimization. Now, this is one last killer tip, and then we will get to the Amazon PPC cheat sheet, which will actually summarize everything in one place. It's super cool, so stay tuned for that. But we started with Amazon SEO in step 1 of 6. I feel like it's appropriate to come full circle here. So yeah, here's the idea. It's to put top PPC keywords back into your listing. If you think about it, like Amazon PPC data is the best, like the best keyword data that you have. It's way better than Google or Amazon estimates because it's real sales data that applies specifically to your product. So any keyword that's a top performer in pay-per-click, but it's not in your listing, you should definitely add it because it'll cycle. So you'll rank for this keyword organically more often, therefore you'll get more sales for it, therefore you'll rank for it more, and you'll make more sales, etc. So yeah, at AsteroidX, we call this listing reoptimization. It's basically optimizing with data-backed keywords, right? Keywords that you can sell for. Example, this is your listing. It's beautiful. Congratulations. The main keyword is silicone baking mat. So an auto campaign reveals high sales and low ACOS for keyword silicone baking pan, which is not your item. It's actually a related item that's a little different. Nevertheless, you see great sales for it. So update a bullet point to mention that your mat is an excellent substitute for silicone baking pans. You could consider expanding your product portfolio to include silicone pans. So you could ask your supplier, demand verified. So PPC data generates keyword ranking, money in the bank, and yes, folks, even product development, which is an unexpected sort of secondary byproduct of this. A note on the future of Amazon advertising. Basically, as long as people need physical stuff, Amazon and Amazon ads will flourish. When it comes to high purchase intent searches for all physical things, over 50% of searches now start on Amazon, not Google. Sorry, Google. Because customers want pricing, they want reviews, and of course, they want to buy now with free 2-day shipping. But there's currently a little bit of a mismatch here. Amazon ads obviously serve a deep need. And remember, it's Amazon's fastest growing segment by revenue. And yet, it's a rudimentary platform. It's like Google AdWords 10 years ago, Facebook 5 years ago. So start advertising now. Get on top and stay on top. And if you want to implement everything you just saw instantly, hire AsteroidX. We're a done-for-you solution that takes care of all your Amazon ads, delivering great sales and ranking results to one-person shops to the Inc. 500 alike. We have hundreds of thousands of dollars in ad spend under management that we deploy every month. And we price based on how much money you actually make, like a partner should. So check it out now. That address is www.asteroidx.me. And as promised, to top it all off, here is the AsteroidX Amazon PPC cheat sheet. If you want everything in one place, screenshot this now. I will leave this up for the next few seconds. This is a great sort of go-to resource. If you forget one little detail in the process, you can always come back to this for reference. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.